my mother's family stopped talking to her because her husband was too dark. I know what they went through, and that came back to me immediately.
Yes, people, can you imagine that? Anyhow, original Quackley is here again, one more time. Yes, people, coming with a piece again. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. When we upload a video, you get it again. But can you imagine Michael Olin break down in tears again, one more time? You understand? Because he said his mother, parents, family member, they stopped talk to him because if husband was too dark. Oh my goodness, my people. Can you imagine this? Eh? The level of racism that black people went through. Oh my God. I'm telling you, people, it's cruelty, and guess what? It gone nowhere. It's still here with us, not leaving us. You know? Rest on our back, bending our back, breaking our back. Because one race believe there is better than the next race. But let me tell you something, people. We are one people. And black people are powerful people. You understand? Black people is the first people. So whether they like it or not, we're gonna be here with them. Rubbing shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, man. Bless up on yourself, people. Enough respect, people. More you watch this clip. You understand? Send this one viral. Yeah, man. Bless up on yourself. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, people. That's when a video come out. Alright, you could see what's going on. What original Quackley talking about. One more time. Bless up on yourself. Yeah, man. We're there. Enough respect, people.
You go back many years, many centuries. The entire world and society was built on white people. White people did everything. And whatever you were taught in school, I spent about 9 years at high school. I wasn't that bright, so I spent a lot of time at high school. But I was never taught anything about anything that a black person did that was good. And when you grow up and that is inculcated in you, that everything good is done by the white man, or anything bad is done by a black man, it cannot be good for your health. Mental health I'm talking about. You have kids growing up that they think they have absolutely no chance of achieving what other kids their same age but just with a different skin color has achieved. And that can't be good. I can give you many stories and examples. I gave some when I was speaking yesterday about the different studies that were done at Yale University. This is not just some little university in some backwoods. Yale University did these studies, and they discovered the institutionalized racism that is going on. It cannot continue like this. We have to understand that people are people. Okay, you want to write about the history of your people? What about explaining everything about that history? Everything, not just what is suitable to be explained. I'll give you an example of each place. Here in the UK, I was with the lady that is now my wife, who is Portuguese background. That means that she's white. And I was standing beside her in Leicester Square, waiting on a taxi. We had just gone to Chinatown to get a meal, came back out, trying to get a taxi. The taxi was heading in our direction with its lights on. I stepped out to put my hand in the road for the taxi driver to stop. He turned off the light. That's not only me. Saw it happen to friends of mine years ago. He turned off the light, and when he passed me, he turned it back on. And a West Indian, English guy, a West Indian background, across the street, saw me, shouted to me, recognized me, and said, "Mikey, you have to put her in front," which is meaning put the white lady in front, because the guy will stop for the white lady. And I shouted back to him, "I'll walk first." Yeah. That is this country. Australia, West Indies team were down there in the 80s. A group of us were in the lift because whenever we go to Australia and we stay in a hotel, they put the entire team on the same floor. So about 4 or 5 of us got into the lift to go down into the lobby. It stopped on the floor below ours. The doors opened, and an Australian, a white Australian guy stood there, saw us in the lift, and decided he was not going to come into the lift. Okay, if you feel intimidated by 4 big black guys, fine. The lift door starts to close, and he shouts a racist remark just as the door is closing. So we just laugh, we go down into the lobby, we go our way. That's Australia.
Yeah.
Down to South Africa now. The first time I went to South Africa, I went with Sky. I went there on my own. The second time I went to World Cup, again with my wife, same white lady, our skin white, Portuguese background. We stood at the lobby trying to book in. A guy came to me, tried to book me in, and somebody walked up to her immediately to try to book her in, because in their mind she could not be with me. And that is the sort of thing, but we laugh about those things, because when I'm not living in the society, I just laugh about it. Sometimes I grimace in my head and I move on. But I cannot keep on laughing, grimacing and moving on. It's time for change. That's a huge plus for this movement. One thing that a friend of mine even sent me on WhatsApp today, there's a gentleman in the United States, a bloodstock agent, who posted some racist remarks on his private whatever, Facebook, I don't know what to do. I'm not a big guy on social media. But it became public. Keeneland Racing Industry banned him immediately. Neither he nor the company he represents, the horses he's trying to sell or buy, can go to Keeneland this year. Shortly after that, his son posted on, again, some social media that it's his father. He's ashamed of what his father did, but in a way he's glad, because for the last 20 years he has been trying to have this conversation with his father about his racist remarks. Yeah. And he says he's so glad to a degree that it happened, so he can now actually sit down with his father and say, listen, this is what you have been doing, this cannot be right. This is his own son. And he came out with a post criticizing his father and said he's glad he can now sit down with him and discuss it.
Yeah.
I see the possibility of change, and this is not just a few people talking, a few people marching for a day or two. I think with even companies, the company that we are working for now, they have pledged £30 million towards this campaign. And I see a lot of other companies doing that, and that is the most important thing.
Right.
Look at people on the street walking up and down and not going in a particular shop. That is important, yes, but you need big corporations to back this thing. I would hope it won't go back to normal. I hope that train will just keep on moving. And yes, I know it's going to take a long time. I am 66 years old. I may not see it myself. What I'm hoping for is future generations, that they will all have equality. My grandson, for instance, he's 6 years old. I hope that when he gets to be a man, that there will be nothing about black and white and brown and pink. It will just be human beings, that everybody gets an equal opportunity depending on their skills, not the color of their skin or their race or their ethnicity or what their religion. That is what I'm hoping for. That's a big hope. But I'm hoping that we are moving in the right direction and eventually we'll get there. This thing has been going on for decades, for centuries, Mark. So I don't expect overnight change. But it has to start somewhere, and hopefully it will just keep on rolling a bit at a time, a bit at a time. You cannot change what is in people's heads overnight. As I said yesterday, a lot of it is not people thinking negatively. It is something that is just seeps in almost like osmosis into your mindset. That study that I related to with the preschool teachers who automatically look for the black kids to be misbehaving. They were embarrassed when they were told that's what they did, because it is not conscious. It is not something that they consciously think about. But when you live in a society and you live in that environment, you automatically get it into your head. The son of that bloodstock agent, he said that is what his father taught him.
Yeah.
That is not something that he was born with. Nobody is born with it. But if you don't have the people to teach it, and eventually it will just die away. As I said, I will be around to see it, but I'm hoping for future generations. To be honest, that emotional part came when I started thinking of my parents. And it's coming again now. Mark, I know what my parents went through. My mother's family stopped talking to her because her husband was too dark. I know what they went through. And that came back to me immediately.
The original Quacky.